Have you ever wondered what your life could literally be like if you had learned a skill at the age of 15, learning how to multiply your money? Because you see, at the age of 15, most teenagers are only focused on, their social status, social media, just, wanting to have fun. But today in this video, I'm actually going to reveal to you what this young teenager did at the age of 15 from starting out 5 months ago, not knowing anything about what trading has to provide at all, to now all of a sudden knowing what to do with every single dollar that he makes and being able to multiply it. So without further ado, David, is a pleasure. And so just share with people what is it that you thought about your life a year ago versus now. Did you ever think that this was even going to be possible, or you was even going to be thinking about how you could have even multiply your money?
So from a year ago, what I had in mind was that if would this be possible since I started to look interest in trading.
Mm.
And then after watching so many videos of people trading, seeing their social media, doing content videos,
Mhm.
them showing all cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Corvettes, Lamborghinis,
Mm-hmm.
Ferraris.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, I would like one of those cars one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I start to get focused into what could I possibly get interest in.
Mm-hmm.
And since so many teenagers out there at age 15, 16, 18, 20, they love to have fun
Mm-hmm.
and not actually focus on their goal yet or dream they have in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get in laziness playing games, not really wanting to do things around for us to go into a better person
Mm-hmm.
that we can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a different perspective in life since one day when we get to have a family and we start working later on at the older age, then we're gonna start having struggles with paying rent,
Mm-hmm.
insurance with cars, and all those things that we had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to start right now, no later,
Mm-hmm.
at age 15, then I'll be able to have an advantage of knowing how to have money, but not wasting it just all in one day. For example, if I were to have $100,000 today,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't have a different mindset than I do today, I would just be wasting it on things that we might just pretend to need, but
Yes.
not actually to use it be able to help us later on to life. For example,
That's huge.
I'm doing trading.
Mm-hmm.
I could use those half of $100,000. Half of it would be 50,000,
Mm-hmm.
and I could invest that right now while I'm still studying, and then I could use that to test my emotions, discipline. Since I'm already starting to studying
Mm.
through the process of trading, and then use the other half on things we might actually want,
Mm-hmm.
and that could help us not just to waste it in random things as other people could do.
100%. 100%. So would you say that has been like the true difference into the person that you were a year ago, like the difference between the person that you were a year ago versus now? You're saying you know specifically what to do with the dollars that are coming in that allows you to being able to continue to keep moving forward in terms of the things that you want, but not necessarily just saying, oh, just because I'm able to print this money, that doesn't mean that now I can just blow every dollar that I have. That is very significant. That is very significant. And so for you personally at this point, how does that now make you feel knowing that you are learning something that literally nobody can take away from you? Like, what did that feel like now to know that you're a profitable trader and this is something that you can continue to keep doing regardless of what else you do?
Well, people can live out in trading, and then we could use this new mindset we have to go into businesses that could help us out, make even more profit.
Mm-hmm.
Because later on, if we start right now, we're all the suffering and struggles we're gonna have through the process of what we really want, then we could have a life of freedom later on without having to struggle. What I said before with the rents and all those things, problems we may have in the future, and for us to not feel so stressed and have all those struggles later on.
100%. And I want to touch on that a little bit more too, because there was a lot of things that you mentioned is like being willing to be the person now to sacrifice what you really want for the future later. Right. So what was that feeling like to know that what you're wanting to do specifically is to learn how to multiply your money? But what was that conversation like specifically for, you trying to tell, your family that this is something you want to do?
Well, first I knew about trading, but I had the intentional focus on it, on the interest. Until one day my dad told me about it too, that he found out about it too. He said, "Why don't you get into this?" And so I was like, "Yeah, I do. I see that people can do this and that." But I didn't have the full intention of knowing the belief of that you can go on, the full belief that you can do with the money later on in life. As I said before, you can use those to invest even in more different accounts in trading, businesses, and then we could even do a business of our own self later on and make profit out of it. And as soon as I told them, they said, "Yes, we will help you with that, long as if you stick with it and not just leave it in the middle of the process." Because as soon as we get into it, what we have accomplished, all the effort we have put in, as soon as we dig down, they will be like, "What was the point for you to join in this if you didn't actually intend to be in it?"
100%.
And then they're gonna be like, then they could put you into working as an employer and get that money back, basically, and teach you even the harder way to earn money.
100%. 100%. And what was that difference too as well? So you mentioned something about almost like a fear of almost wanting to like not really necessarily wanting to work for somebody else. Like, why is it that this actually stood out to you more than necessarily having a job, trading your time for money?
So one day I went with my parents to work out in the field. That day was hot, super hot, humid, and I was sweating. I mean, I couldn't resist more to be out there for several hours. And you only get paid little. It was in a blueberry field. Well, we had to fill a bucket about this big, this wide, and then they pay you like $2 to $3 per bucket. From going down the field a long way through and picking up the good blueberries that you can get for people to eat for fruits that they could sell to the store. I mean, it is a good thing to work in a field for people to get healthy with fruits.
100%.
But I think the thing is that it's difficult on base the amount you get paid, the time you have to spend, and then you get home and you just feel tired. And then all you want to do at home is just sit down and rest while being able to have the full time of day and studying into trading, what I'm doing, and being able to focus in more, knowing that soon as we start with amount we want in the account of trading, we could generate even more, multiply it more by more later on with the time into thousands, 100,000s. We could get to millions even farther down.
100%.
And we can withdraw that amount of money we want, but we need an amount to keep in account for us to continue growing. And so that's how I know this. I wanted to stick with trading. And then in trading, you can just like sit down, watch. All you have to do is watching the computer, analyzing graphs. And all you have to do is wait for that perfect time you want to trade in and just open a trade and let your money work for you instead of us working for the money.
Wow.
And wasting that time.
100%. 100%. And so even for that, right? being now, like you said, being able to now know how to utilize your time more efficiently, because what you experienced was so traumatic for you that you were like, well, I know there's got to be a better way. And if there is, I want to know what it is. And so that is really crucial, that I think a lot of you guys can take away from that, is just understand that if there is a possibility for you to be more efficient in what you're doing, are you actually looking for those opportunities when you can actually find them? Right. And so he was focused on looking for those other opportunities, which is why it led into him becoming more interested in trading, to know that there are certain abilities that you're able to now be able to obtain of allowing your money to actually work for you, which is completely different from you always having to be present to in order to make money. So that is key. So even to now, your schedule, what does your schedule look like on a day-to-day basis? So you're still in school, right? You still have responsibilities in school and all these different things, but what now is your schedule like? How do you even have time to trade? What does your everyday just look like?
Okay, before school starts, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning into 7. Have 2 hours to trade, and what I can analyze or get out of to trade, whether we trade or not that day, whether we make profit or loss. I'm good with that. Long as I'm starting to get the experience and knowing the market more better than I can learn from yesterday's.
100%.
And then after that, before we get into school, because at 7:05 I should be at the bus stop for the bus to pick me up. And from there, I continue on to the day of school until 3 o'clock, like around 3:20, I get back home, go back, do what I have to do to help my parents out at home, and then head straight to study, even farther down into trading, and then have a learning lesson on mindset, and to help me control the emotions when you enter into the world of trading, because trading is a thing that tests you out as a person.
100%. Absolutely.
And so I gotta stick with it, and then being able to work out on the time I have, and then take a shower, and then from 9 o'clock till 10, that's a time I can have time to watch TV or play a little, not really, and then from there go to sleep at 10.
Incredible. And then, so from everything that you mentioned too as well, so you're still having certain beliefs in your head that it's not whether or not I can trade, it's about how. Because even for your schedule itself, nobody forced you to have to wake up at 5 to say, okay, I'm going to be looking for opportunities where I can put my money to work, right? Before even going to school. So that itself is just a mind-blowing experience to me, because it really shows that whatever you actually want, it's not a matter of it not being necessarily possible. It's about, are you willing to put into the time and the effort to actually making that become a reality for you later? And so for you, you're not giving yourself any time to, even consider, oh, this is just not for me. I'm willing to go through the learning curve for such a time that allows me to having those moments to yourself to hone in a skill set that, again, like I said, nobody can take away from you. So that's pretty incredible. And so, okay, so then walk me down this path that you're on now from actually being a profitable trader. What would you say to somebody is the clear difference between what it was like for you when you wasn't profitable? What were certain things that you were doing then versus what you're doing now that's actually making you a profitable trader? What is those clear differences, would you say?
When I was not profitable in trading, I used to not actually have the discipline to do the things I tell myself that I have to do this every day. It's things that we don't want to do, but we have to do in order to grow, basically. As I said earlier, working out at home on what I can. I mean, people don't like to work out, but they have to force themselves to work out and growing better, because that can help you with the mindset. And then from there, I was having losses and wins basically equally. Losses, wins, but still being profitable
100%.
for some months. But that's not where actually I wanted to get at. I wanted to have a certain amount of good wins, but less losses. And soon as I start to being disciplined to the things I want to focus on, and being able to stick with the things I want to do training, what I want the results to come out of. Because the results show what we have been doing through the days and days gone by. The habits that I had before was to just play games and hardly do anything at home. So I replaced those with studying and trading since I got interested with it and being able to work out.
So literally just changing a lot of the decision makings, even outside of trading, you saying has helped you overall just in trading? Just literally learn how to multiply your money? That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, and that's amazing you mentioned that too as well, because we have that saying that says, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So just you at an early age, at 15, realizing that there were certain things that you were being introduced to that you like to do. It's not like you still don't like to do them, but now you're making a decision that those things are not moving the needle in my life. And so you start replacing those with things that actually is allowing you to get the benefit internally, but simultaneously actually becoming the person that you want to be. So how has that changed like your mentality as a person from being able to see that whatever you believe is possible, that you can go out there and achieve it? Like, what has that done to your mindset to have that faith and know that that's possible?
Being able to stay consistent with the things. Because as I know now, that every result we want will always come that quick. There's always a path we have to go through in order to get those results we want. Because if we don't change things, that won't change us.
Okay. And so the last question that I will have for you is, for somebody that is on the fence about feeling like, is this possible? I see this 15-year-old doing it, but here it is, I'm thinking it's still not possible for me. Like, what would you say to that individual?
That anything is possible, whether people criticize you or not, because they don't really see the picture you have in mind that you can achieve, because they probably think that they tried to go through that topic and they couldn't achieve it,
right?
Because they didn't put the actual focus into it to go through that path, and they didn't want to fear that pain that you had to go through. Because anything possible, what if? And as you see, there's people in social media that are already making thousands of dollars. If we say that if they can do it, we can do it also. It's not like we see they being able to achieve that doesn't mean that we can't. And we always have to have that faith and discipline and respect.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. And there is a scripture that supports like what you're saying is like, so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that's crucial, because whatever you think about yourself, and like you just mentioned, what is actually possible, then you're putting like barriers on your life when they didn't have to be there. And too many times people are pointing fingers and saying, well, these reasons as to why I'm not actually striving for my goals is because somebody else is telling me it's not possible, or somebody is, directly affecting, what it is that I can and can't do. Like, I hear a lot of times people are saying, well, this person's not letting me become successful. Right. And I would argue that it really has a lot to do with the environment that you allow to actually be around you at all times. Because there's no way that you can be around somebody for long enough and actually enjoy their company without you actually starting to become that person too. Right. And so we actually do like to stay around people that actually has the same way of thinking. And most importantly, being able to relate to them in so many other things. And so what has your environment done for you, like changing even friend groups and then, get into this mentorship program? Like, what has that done for you to now being in a community of like-minded individuals?
With me and my parents and brother seeing a different way that we can engage into something new, instead of thinking the old habits of just wasting the time and just only watching TV, playing games, being able to see a different way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that there's something else out there and that what we really want to achieve, we're willing to do it, not just to leave it halfway there.
Well, that was absolutely an incredible eye opener, even just knowing that it doesn't matter about where you start, it's about how you're willing to actually finish. And so hopefully this inspired you that whatever age you are, it does not matter. Just get yourself around like-minded individuals that literally can make the absolute difference in terms of what it is that you actually know now so that you can actually go out there and apply it. So hopefully this, helped you in any kind of way, but stay blessed.